America was unknowingly sending its citizens' DNA to China? And now, the FDA is pulling the plug. But what was really going on behind this Biden-era genetic data program? Let's dive into the science, the secrets, and the scandal. So here's the deal. During the Biden administration, a federal research program involving genetic testing quietly started shipping DNA samples to international labs, including some in China. The point? Boosting science, medical research, and diagnostics. Sounds pretty normal, right? But then, critics jumped in with a big question. Why is sensitive American genetic information leaving the country, especially to places that aren't exactly our best friends? Imagine this. You spit in a tube for a clinical trial, expecting better health care. Instead, your living cells are packed up and sent around the world, sometimes to labs in countries with a track record of surveillance. An infographic would show just how much of this genetic data started heading overseas. And that's where things got real. Suddenly, this wasn't just about science. It was about national security. US officials started warning, what if foreign governments could use our DNA for, well, anything? Bioweapons, targeted viruses, maybe even customized genetic targeting. The Pentagon and the Department of Health got involved. This was no longer just a research story, it was a security nightmare. Senators from both parties jumped in. I heard one lawmaker call it the TikTok of DNA. Looks harmless, but with huge data extraction power under the hood. Congressional hearings lit up, and the media started asking tough questions about transparency, ethics, and who was really benefiting. So, the FDA slammed the brakes. In June 2025, they announced an immediate halt to any new clinical trials sending Americans' living cells to China and other countries of concern. Why? They found evidence that some trials didn't even tell participants their DNA was leaving the country. Imagine signing up to help science and accidentally giving away your genetic privacy. Now the FDA wants full transparency, ethical consent, and for sensitive biological material to stay in the US, period. But here's the twist. Millions of DNA samples have already been exported. Critics say the horse may have already left the barn. So what's China doing with all this info? Their biotech industry, especially giants like BGI Group, has faced years of accusations, military ties, surveillance projects, and even alleged human rights abuses. The US blacklisted BGI in 2021, but that didn't stop the flow of data. So, let's get real. With massive DNA databases, countries could predict health trends, experiment with genetic engineering, or even pursue cloning and bioweapons research. It's not just privacy on the line, it's global security, and maybe our entire biological future. The public is reeling. Social media is blowing up. People are asking, they're sending our spit to the CCP? Or, this is like 23andMe on steroids? As the FDA clamps down, the big questions stick around. What happens to the DNA that's already overseas? Will the laws change? And is this the beginning of an international DNA arms race? The story's just getting started. DNA is the new gold. And now we know how easy it was to hand it over. If you found this eye-opening, smash that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more real stories they don't want you to see. What would you do with a country's DNA?